Diehard Mission Monday update. Special edition here tonight on location, having a little fun with, if you know me at this point, I'm in a water ski club, and I'll give you a quick view. We are at the lake. I know it's kind of bright back there, but we're enjoying the weather together here, and it's going to be fun. So get used to it because summer's here. We have a great guest joining us tonight. But before we get to that wonderful gentleman, you know how we start here. We always begin with getting the mission updates. This is Mission Monday Update, and that's what it's all about, is knowing what's happening in the world of Project Diehard. So who better to give us that update than Brian Gibson himself. So Brian, here we go. How are you today?
Oh, sister, overly blessed. Especially what has happened over the weekend to this mission. Can't wait to tell people, just how great this is.
Excellent.
So with that, let me turn on this one so people can see, because, if I don't got those stupid little decks, I get lost. Well, last week was the first Wednesday, and what do we do on the first Wednesday?
Fellowship breakfast.
Praise be to God.
Woohoo!
46 veterans came through.
That's awesome.
6 first-time veterans came through.
Even better.
But, I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start bringing it out after the breakfast. We got some mathematics here we got to talk about.
Yeah, that math doesn't quite add up.
We brought in $85 in donation, praise be to God, but it still cost us $479.03. That is a difference of $394.03. Scan that code. Give what you can every month, please. Operation Kinder Day 1 was June 3rd. Again, folks, until you come and see what we're doing, you don't know how to help. I know it was kind of short notice, but June 3rd, nobody showed up. I know Sue would have been there if she lived closer.
Me and my chainsaw are itching to get down there.
Again, fill the can. It's that time of year.
It's that time of year.
We build one facility at a time. This is our annual capital campaign. Scan the QR code. Somebody said in a meeting earlier today that QR codes are dead. Prove them wrong. Okay?
Scan it now. See what happens.
Yeah. Go to any Paducah bank, say, fill the can, and they know what to do. Next Sunday, speaking of fill the can, the Church of Woodlawn Church, my home church, is stepping up and is hosting our ministry can. Yeah. I live in the middle of the Bible Belt. I know Chaplain Ron's been reaching out to ministries left, right, and sideways. My home church stepped up. What's up, folks?
Who's next?
Yeah.
Lots of churches out there, and there's lots of dates coming up. So who's next? Literally, raise your hand. You can type in the chat. We'll see that. You can give us a shout out, call us up, find us on social media. there's all sorts of ways to reach us. So please reach out and let us know when you would like to schedule a date by you.
Yeah. Our next big thing is June 20th, our facility day. John, Jesus said, come and see. John 139 is our transparency here, folks. You want to see where your dollar goes? Come.
Come and see.
The Father's table is endless. My rules are not that hard because they're not mine. They're God's. We have the opportunity to help another ministry. Folks, I will tell you details as they transpire. But when is it going to happen doesn't matter because our facility still isn't ready to receive this ministry and help their kids. That's why it's so important to support this mission. We need volunteers. CRM volunteer that runs the CRM, that does all the follow-ups, does all that. I spend majority of my day dealing with veterans and CEOs. Sue has a full-time gig. Come on, folks. Crossroads Lawn and Garden has that can that needs filled because that tractor needs parts before it can come do the work on fire brush.
And for those that missed previous weeks, the tractor's been donated. That tractor's ours. It just needs to be fixed. So all it is the cost of parts for us in order to have that tractor on site at this location forever. So we just need the help to get those parts funded. We definitely work that needs to be done on the ground there, and this tractor will make a big difference. So we were blessed with this amazing piece of equipment. Now let's get it up and running.
Yeah. Again, bunk beds. We got kids coming. I need 10 of those built. Who's going to step up? I know there's organizations out there that builds beds. Okay, remember, every facility is going to have a studio. We're already seen on the Mark TV, Nonprofit TV, Disability TV, and now Forward Op TV. You see how this works, folks? You help us, I help you. July 1st, the fellowship breakfast is going to be outstanding. Plan the trip. Our outreach, our mission supplier, Tactical Travel, reach out to them. They can help you make the trip. Okay? We're working diligently to get ministry leaders to pull up a chair after the breakfast and learn more about how we can all work together. And that is that.
It's where you got to be here to know what's going on. There's always a lot in the works.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to put in that 21% comes back to us.
Oh, yes. We'll get more details on that one next week. But there's some great things coming our way.
But it still takes community to step up and take these blessings and move forward.
Right.
So we have a fellow doc. Yeah. Another Army medic who served and now has some really good information for our brothers and sisters. So bring in our guest, please.
Excellent. I could not be more pleased to be introducing Wacinque AK BeMende. He is joining up with all the wonderful things with what we've got going on. He has some amazing things happening in the financial world. And, we all are familiar with financial stress, right? He can help. So if you want to come on in and share a little bit more about who you are, what you're doing, and what your thoughts all are with what Project Diehard is and how we can fit together with where we're going. Welcome.
Yeah. Here and be invited to be part of that Project Diehard has been telling and living. So in the tradition of medics in the military, leave no service member behind, my mission has been focused on can be called smart health and wealth. So not only is the service member served being healthy, but equally served, they're able to have resources and sustain them. And what's exciting about this particular year, 2026, which is part of the semi-quincentennial celebration of the 250th of the birth of the U.S., is there are 3 accounts that can help an individual and their family increase their financial resiliency. The first account is called 530 Alpha. This is savings accounts for kids. And for the first time in 250 years, billionaires are pledging to help individuals grow their seed money in the accounts. That's never been done, except unless we count in the declaration, the 56 signers of the declaration pledged. The last line in the declaration says that we pledge our blood and our fortunes in helping this endeavor to become free. So they pledged their fortunes. So here in the 250th year, we're saying, let's double down and do it again, meaning those fellow Americans who support the celebration, because at the time, obviously, the war was the revolution. But if you need a mission focus today, the war would be winning the war on poverty. And we can win the war on poverty if everyone has a wealth building account starting as young as possible. So that's the 530 Kids accounts. The second account is called an ABLE, A-B-L-E. That account is for disabled individuals. And what's important to veterans and service members is in 2026, the eligibility age has been increased to 46. That's 46. Prior to this year, you could only be eligible if you was disabled by a doctor before the age of 26. So by increasing the eligibility, that benefits service members and their families. And last but not least is an account called My, and that account is for individuals who work for a company, but the company does not have the resources to provide a retirement plan. These are all accounts that have special rules that will help those individuals, not only who are qualified for them, but will help launch and grow their accounts. So I consider myself to be financial education revered. There was a person named Paul back in 1770s. He got on a horse and he went around and said, the British are coming, the British are coming. Get on a horse, going around saying the accounts are coming. And that's very important, not just for the individuals and families, but even for Project Diehard. Because if every person has more resources, then they're in a better position to share that resources with the greater community and organizations like Project Diehard. So our mission, being my company, Kaizen Rhino Solutions, mission is to help make all these individuals aware of these new accounts so that they can open an account. But more specifically, I'm launching a campaign to raise $20 billion. Yes, sir, ma'am, and any children, you heard that clearly. 20 billion. And of course, I will be using that 100% to help individuals fund their account. Now, some people wonder, why in the world did I come up with 20 billion? It's not as random as it sounds. What motivated me was when I realized, wait a minute, in the past 2 years, people who buy lottery tickets have received just under 20 billion. Those lotteries have been, each one have been 2 billion in most recent years, which is an incredible number where you buy a lottery ticket and you get 2 billion. And so I said, you know what, that's random. That's people, not necessarily working a certain kind of plan. So if individuals can randomly get in the aggregate just under 20 billion, what about a business person who cares about the community, who's been working to help individuals learn about financial literacy and building sustainable wealth? I said, well, surely some of these billionaires who, not just the billionaires, but in total, on 200 trillion. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that, in total, 100 trillion. But if we were to pick on the billionaires specifically, like the 1%, the 1% owns $55 trillion. And when you consider, if since our campaign is to raise 20 billion, out of 55 trillion, that won't even cause them to sneeze or yawn. It's so small in comparison. So that's the goal of this savings account for the disabled individuals savings account. My IRA for individuals who work. They are working individuals, but they don't have the resources to offer a retirement plan. So that's the basic story of what I'm here to share and to encourage, tell as many people as possible, and to help spread the word, those billion message, and may not have a revolution tricorder hat. So I'm passing the tricorder hat.
Excellent. Well, and Chief Abundance Strategist, who doesn't need that? That is what we all need, is the abundance that we can do what we choose, and that we're able to be in a position to allocate our funds where we want them to be if we don't have enough. We all, someone like you in our back pocket, so we can be where we need to be. So I appreciate what you are doing.
Oh, again, brother, I can't wait to get our first
Excellent.
facility.
Absolutely. And if people want to, like quick, they can look up America's Credit Union Museum and just put in Wacinque at America's Credit Union Museum, and they will see a profile I have that talks about how I launched what's called a community development military. So they identify me by my rank, and I've been working and I've been refining how to be more successful with the wealth building approach, so they can learn that I've been doing this really since 2005 based on that CDFI. But actually, my birthday in this lane is 1969. So in 1999, I was 10 years old, and my teacher taught us how to calculate compound interest. That changed my life. And so that's what I'm passing down, is how to put your money to work better. And there are some veterans and federal civil service people whose money in the past few years only earned pennies a year when it could have earned dollars. And that's what called the affordability gap. So when I share money was earning pennies dollars, you will see how easily your wealth will increase. So that's the overall mission: leave no service member behind, families, and helping people increase their financial resiliency.
Yeah, brother, like everybody asks, what is it going to cost us to complete our first facility? Yeah, we need about $5 million. Okay, everybody goes, wow, that's a lot of money. That's nothing. That is nothing. But people ask, okay, so if you had $5 million today, what would I do with it? Well, $1 million would go into the Southern Illinois Community Foundation, set up as a trust for forward operating base rush, because that facility is going to have to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we got to set up the pieces to make sure it runs.
No, and even though, like I said, it sounds like a fantastic number, raising 20 billion, but when people reach out to me and the approach I'm taking, and when they marry that with the target audience, the top 1% who own $55 trillion, then they'll realize it's a very doable mission. And so spreading the word is all it costs anybody. Nothing that I do costs any money. My coaching, guidance, anything I ask you, 0 cents. 0.
And that makes it a win-win. I mean, you get all the things you need.
It's a
You're
total
doing good
win-win.
things. Yeah. Oh. Well, and one thing I wanted to ask you about, I know I saw a little blurb about a veteran Wyoming. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? I think that's pretty special.
What's that?
That you in 2025 were named Vetrepreneur in Wyoming.
Oh, yes. Yes. So, so my financial education business, has been gaining some award recognition. So, for instance, I have been recognized as a financial educator of the year by good old Wisconsin, governor of Wisconsin. Again, I'm the only person in the world named Wacinque. If you look up Wacinque and Wisconsin Governor's Award, you will see that I've been recognized by the Wisconsin governor when I was stationed there teaching financial education in the community to veterans and so forth. And so the culmination of that kind of thing, just like with the CDFI that was in Tennessee, then I was recognized as a veteran business owner in the state of Wyoming. And matter of fact, my reign is a whole year. And then I've been recognized by State Department. I was elected to represent the United States in the Netherlands because of, again, my initiative. I'm in a Hall of Fame for my model design, the Securities Industry Financial Management Hall of Fame, where I taught kids how to invest in the stock market. So all of these is just being put on steroids in 2026 with those 3 accounts: 530 Alpha, Able, and my IRA. This is a very special year. And so that's why I had to double down and say, you know what? Let me raise 20 billion to help launch this effort and show that we live in a generous country, and there's a lot of wealth that could be more effectively used. So that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
Check this out. And a quick Google search, just like you're saying, Financial Educator of the Year is part of Wisconsin's Financial Literacy Award. And recipients, and among them, you find you. So that is quite special. I'm love to see that. So thank you for sharing that. I'll have to take a closer look.
Yes, that tells my story of authenticity, because I didn't just wake up yesterday and start doing this. I've been doing this for quite a long time.
Yeah. At a point where you
the more the more you get known, you know how the world works. If I had a different name, I would be mentioned every time something happened. And so that's all it is. Once wealthy people see that I've been doing this, I didn't start doing this yesterday, and that I've been giving back to the community and helping people close the affordability gaps with better financial education, we're going to raise that 20 billion.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we hope to influence 10 trillion in wealthy decisions to help people, regular people.
Excellent.
10 trillion out of 200 trillion mission goal.
That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Well, and seeing we lost Brian, I think he had some kind of
Yes.
connection issue there. So here, actually, Kurt just walked over and is joining us. I'm gonna let him say hello real quick here. How you doing?
Oh, doing good. Being lakeside is the way to live.
What's going on, Mr. Kirk? You still got that Wisconsin hat on. I see you didn't go get you no Wyoming hat with the cowboy.
Hey,
that was a subliminal message I was giving you.
If you send me a Wyoming hat, I'll proud. Definitely.
Yes.
So have you
yes.
actually, if you gotten to meet before?
So glad to.
Before today?
Well, no, because he's been ducking me.
No.
He's been hiding, and I'm new learning about Project Diehard. I just, Brian said he has these weekly podcasts, and I said, well, let me get on there, and what I'm doing, let them know, what products exist for them, because you have to apply. Well, I sent the one pager with the links. None of these links are mine. These are traditional government design links that show these are real accounts. Nobody, no scammers. This is no scamming. None of that negative stuff that unfortunate for, But so people can check it out, do their homework, and realize it's a real thing. People are really giving away assistance through seed funding.
Gotcha. And actually, sorry to interrupt the thought here, but I missed before that Brian actually had put a note in the chat here that he had a vet that was reaching out and he had to take off. That's the only time we lose him on these shows, is if he's getting a call or a text from a veteran that needs him and needs to talk. That comes first.
Oh, absolutely.
So I was thinking, I thought.
Now, how long is the overall podcast? Do you strive? How long do you guys?
We go until the bottom of the hour.
Cast.
Yep.
Okay.
So we go until the bottom of the hour. We got about 25 minutes yet. So if you first come to you, if they are brand new to what you can do for them, where do you start? How, can you just give us an idea of what it looks like when you first sit down with somebody?
Yeah,
so that they kind of have a picture of what's happening?
Absolutely. Yeah. I teach them about accounts that you don't normally hear of in the commercial world, that by law they can open and get started. So we're talking what's known as U.S. Treasury, like the Treasury Department, direct, DIRECT. Every person should have a U.S. Treasury direct account, because that you're talking that is the safest type of account. It's backed by the government, and once you start putting money in, they guarantee you will receive a return of your money in terms of it won't fail. And most people don't know that this account exists. So I always start with the U.S. Treasury Department direct, DIRECT, and specifically the I bond, just I bonds, because every person can open that type of account. Then the second account that everyone can open is called a transfer agent account. Now, the transfer agent system is the internet for finances. So if you just think the global internet, you go to www.google or Bing, you're in, right? Well, the financial equivalent is called a transfer agent. TRANSFER, AGENT. So there are several, but the largest one the name's called Computer Share. It's weird, right? It has an unusual name. And you go to Computer Share and you create the account. It costs you no money to create these accounts at the base. And then what I do is, like I'm doing million, is then help people get funding, like a GoFundMe, different things of this nature, in addition to whatever they're able to do on their own. And the key is the return is much higher than you get in a lot of situations, and that's the surprise. So if people want to learn, like, oh wow, how does he know this? It's called an Ibbotson, IBBOTSON chart. The Ibbotson's chart was started in 1977, and it shows a study. Put your money. You don't have to have an advisor that you're paying for. He shows it in the chart, and the chart is 100 years old this year.
Oh, wow.
And it started in. So in essence, I teach people about stuff they never heard about. Most people have never heard about the Ibbotson's chart. Most people have not heard of transfer agent. And then even the U.S. Treasury Direct Foundation is to start with those access points. That's how you plug in. And everybody can do it right now. It doesn't require any money to open the account.
Awesome.
So that's always the starting
point. That's fantastic. Yeah, because actually, I mean, you're teaching me as we're sitting here too. So I appreciate what you're all doing. My goodness. Oh, well,
yes, and then of course, whatever I can follow up with, so that that you can make sure people can know the sites and because I'm saying them, but I can send paper or whatever that has this information, the links, and that way you can always share it on. And the goal, April is Financial Education Month, but because this is the semi-quincentennial and I'm Financial Education Revere, we are extending financial education to 31 December. So every week, every day till 31 December is Financial Education Day. And so we're going to be just putting the information out as much as we can. And last but not least, Boston was a study that launched in 1977. A second study means, because they're like, well, the United States, I know they're okay, but so they did a study called Triumph of the Optimist, and the data shows the same. It shows where to put a dollar and the return. I'll just let people, when they see it themselves, and they'll realize it's not Wacinque's word about it. These are the sources that have been verified and double checked and validated, that most people just don't learn about. Whatever reason, the educators are not sharing with them this information. And wow. Yeah.
Excellent. So, well, and with, oh, sorry, I had a question that just went through. Well, I should ask this. So with
I saw it was like lightning. It was fast.
It was like lightning. It was a flash in the background. With Project Diehard, we have a lot of our partners on our homepage. So folks that we work with, we basically work this in a way where it's a win-win. So if you post information about us on your website, we can post information about you on our site as well. So, and that's kind of how we work. We do things in a win-win scenario, and those that help us, we help right back. So that's where, if there is a way for us to do that and to exchange links and all of that, that would be amazing. And for anybody listening, that's how partnerships happen, right?
Well, no, absolutely. No, absolutely, and we will absolutely do that.
Awesome.
And you guys tell me whatever your steps are. And again, I'm saying make sure people check this out.
Mhm.
I'm the only Wacinque in the world.
Okay.
All they have to do is put in ask AI who is Wacinque. Ask, and you'll see the links to information and so forth. And the surprise will be with people is why is other financial educators sharing this information with them?
Yeah.
Especially $400 billion, 400 billion of members' money has been earning pennies. When more service members learn about what I'm sharing and they move it a program to the dollar accounts, imagine the difference. The accounts that have
It's
been
gonna be huge.
earning dollars have been doing it from the beginning. So the service account in 2000, but today the two funds that are the dollars point,
Wow.
not having done anything else, just one time, because you're the right two bottom funds. That same 100 will have only grown from 100,000 to G fund and the F fund have only grown in the same period of time. That, because if they not share, they would have over 1.1 to 1.4 million dollars right today, and that's real data that I can send them the links. It's just a question of, well, who's giving the right information to people? Why is there such a gap in this factual data? So I'll email you guys directly and make sure you look it over. And that way, if you have any questions as the host, and you can share with people that y'all looked and learned it directly yourself. And and in essence, you can verify, no, he's telling real information. Now, when were you in the service? What was your service period?
Well, that's what makes this interesting, because I know we have a lot of military that are involved with Project Diehard, but neither of us served. So we are coming at this from a civilian standpoint.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, we love the medic piece because we were both EMTs for 10 years. We love that part.
Okay.
So I feel like we have a tiny flavor of what you guys have.
No, you totally have the flavor.
Tiny.
It takes a village. You guys are in the village. It takes a village to do anything. So basically, I'll still send you the information.
Yes,
That
please.
way you'll be able to have access even without being a service member, because I'm sending you the public access link.
Excellent.
And you'll be able to look at the data and see it. Yeah, so you don't have to be military. I just I did that assume. Y'all know what assume does. Do I have to tell you what?
All the time.
She's the Sue in assume.
I love it. She's the Sue in the So you guys will see things are going to change pretty quickly. And it's getting ready to get on steroids, because I just finished my PhD level research paper about this same information. And I just finished my first book.
Oh,
about this same.
Is it out?
So, well, it's being it was published and Amazon then took it down.
Oh,
And they said, well, something about it.
too many truths.
Basically,
You're sharing too many secrets.
the thing I'm sharing with you. Oh, hello. I'm not making this up because I can show people how to look this information up, and that's what the publisher said. It almost sounded too good what I'm saying. On average, no one is teaching this.
Yeah.
But when I show the data, where I'm getting this data from and how public the data is, but they don't talk about it. They don't talk about it. So how regular people gonna know if no one is talking about this?
That's
And
why
that's
you're here.
what Project Diehard and our partnership will be doing, is that we will be sharing with people the real deal.
Awesome.
The real deal.
And I know, so we've got about 14 minutes here. I have one thing that I need to share before we're done for the day, because actually I want to set this one up because you talked to a gentleman today that is looking for military veterans for employment. So can you go ahead and share what you learned, and I can get this in a place where I can share my screen.
Yeah, so I do want to back up a little bit to what you were saying about it. We're in the village, it takes a village. That's how this worked. Through this podcasting we're doing, we met a gentleman out of California, and he and I worked on a podcast together, and he brought on a guest by the name of Bob Holmes. Bob Holmes is our one-man volleyball team. He's the guy who plays volleyball. He'll compete against 6 other players on the other side of the net, and he wins all the time. So we're talking to the tune of just under, he had only just under 400 losses or something out of 10,000.
20,000.
Oh, 20,000 out of
20,000 wins.
Yeah, and just under 400 losses in his 40-year trek with all this. So this attracted him a guy by the name of Tom Drysdale.
Did you guys say his name is Wimby? He's 7'5" with a wingspan of 25. Is that who this guy is?
We would love to be introduced to the gentleman you're talking about. Yeah. So, but this guy, he introduced us to a guy who's very active in the veteran community, and his son owns a business. So we're going to talk about the business in a moment, but right now we're going to get around this.
Wow.
He is out there going to, so there's 20,000, 16 wins, it's over 400, almost 500 losses.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, but still, I mean, so he's really Guinness Book World
I'm so
Record
disappointed.
setting. Yeah, right. So look at all this. So he's been featured on all those channels, including Mission Monday right here, as we're doing now. And he was on a program earlier. He was on a news program and TV program earlier today. I was on with them. And we're just going gangbusters with this because we just feel this is very important, because we know in his 40 years that there were a lot of parents in his trails where the parents were veterans. So to look at the youth side of this, and right now we're looking at a youth camp that we're supporting through a church and, advocacy, faith advocacy and stuff like that. So we got all sorts of pieces coming together. So again, Tom's son owns a business called Onway. So what Onway is doing is they're doing blood deliveries, and they also specialize in auto parts. so it's kind of helping our mechanics as a person, and then mechanics in automobiles. But this is about logistics, transportation, to deliver blood with hospitals and auto parts for auto shops and so forth. And so there's all these jobs available across the nation, and the ownership is very passionate to prioritize whatever they can do to help veteran employment. So that's the whole purpose of this. These folks want veterans to apply for these jobs right and left, and they want to give the paycheck to veterans wherever possible.
It sounds very exciting. And just like with the
Yeah.
team approach you guys have and the shared messaging, then I look forward to sharing the 100% times three. The accounts are coming, so they can share with their community connections, because that's what it's going to take for everyone to know that these accounts exist. So the ABLE accounts launched in 2016, and in 2016, 8 million disabled people were discovered to be eligible. This is 2026, 10 years later, and only 400,000 have signed up. That's another part of my motivation. That's
It's so
crazy.
few.
In 10 years, the people that are who would benefit have not been aware enough to be signing up, to the tune of 7 million have not signed up.
That's amazing.
I love this approach you guys have with everybody helps everybody and spreads the word, because it's up to us. We have to do. We have to take over the village. We can't rely on Madison Avenue and traditional Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah, and so again, our mission,
So that's wonderful.
spreading hope to veterans.
So I will be whatever we,
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, so with Project Diehard combating veteran suicide by spreading hope to veterans, and we have a 10,000 square foot facility on the property. The idea is that what we're talking about here, all of these new and all that we have, it all fits together so that the McCann, Illinois location is a resource center. The inner working fresh their lives and put more life back into their days, or even have more life in their days than they ever had in their life. New pinnacles, I believe.
well, and the base of that is if you're if you are resource filled, just like we could say you're Holy Ghost filled. If you're resource filled, then you on a firmer foundation to being able to do and be involved. And like I said, once you see the data I'm sending you guys, you will realize America has that data, and have gaps, and people are way up here or way down there, and this effort will change that. We will start lifting people up, and and it's sustainable, because this is not a welfare program. It's not a government program. This is a free market program. And the free market is what drives so much of the wealth. That's why 1% people own 55 trillion. They're fully involved in the free market.
Yeah, when you know all the rules.
None of them are getting any welfare, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so big part of the idea.
And that's what we will be sharing.
Right.
Yeah, so like when you commented that came to that Sue and I aren't veterans, to me, Sue and I aim to be the poster children for, all of you out there that aren't veterans. We need you in this mission, because that's what Sue and I learned a decade ago, is that, you kind of figure with veteran service offices, veteran service officers, the VA, and all these veteran programs, you hear how there's an impressive number of veteran nonprofits out there. As a civilian, someone not familiar to the military space as much, not as much running the circles of veterans, like here we have Check Your Vet. So I've spoken before that, who is, for Sue and I, who's our vet? Who are we checking on? So we go out there and we offer in these shows, like my phone number is 262-372-754. Me, text me, email me, Kurt@projectdiehard.org. we're out here to build these relationships in the veteran community, and we want it to be a shining example for non-vets all across the land and wherever they are in the world. There are U.S. citizens, temporarily living, somewhere else for work or whatever, going for a month, go to a company, some other part of the world. Wherever people are, we can support our U.S. veterans. And then it's interesting how we're learning about the veteran aspects, Africa, Asia, Europe, Canada.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you guys may have known of a name called Joe Rogan.
Yes, sir.
Ever heard of that guy? Well, the
over
reason why
again.
Joe Rogan has a certain impact, he has 30 million people that check into his podcast. So, and I've said this to Brian, everybody else, the part of their struggle, the size of the audience they're reaching. We all have to work harder to broaden the audience. So unfortunately, it's not going to the same 500 people over and over and over again. The same messaging, 500, engage people in the word of mouth to increase that audience base. And that's the difference maker. Difference maker is increasing who the followers are, people who watch a particular show. And so that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping my national message, which is actually global, will animate and excite people to check out this podcast and come to Project Diehard and learn things as a partner, a part of the messaging, so that next thing you know, you guys are having 10 million, 20 million, 30 million people checking in.
That's what it takes. And yeah, because we've been saying this for a long time. We cannot be the best kept secret. We need people to know Project Diehard exists. We're here to help our veterans and the veteran community and providing hope. So it's too important to turn a blind eye to what's going on here. So we appreciate all the support.
And no one has the magic sauce to how do you increase that audience. We all just, Brian does it. Everywhere he goes, of course, he messages. And the same with me. I mean, like I said, a lot of people, these programs are not Wacinque's programs. And not everybody is signing up. They've not even heard of it. The 530 Alpha accounts. They hadn't heard of my IRA accounts. And because I talk to people every day. So I know they're not hearing about it. And part of it is because the government doesn't spend billions of dollars on advertising. Right. So we have to use word of mouth. So that's
I love that you're doing what you do.
Guys. And I will be following up. And I look forward to many more of these at the beginning, just like Brian does his opening. At the beginning, hopefully there's a way to have a message that reminds people, have you signed up or told anybody about the 100% time 3 accounts? On and on. So yes, we need to make that common effects until the end, at least until 30. And so people say, wait a minute, man, we need to go on the show and learn about these accounts and get them the links and so forth. So I look forward to it, and I'll be sending you the links and data.
Perfect. Well, I can't thank you enough for being here with us tonight. And tradition is, as we are closing up at the end of our shows, we like to have everybody just go around and share a word of hope for our veterans. Before doing that, though, I want to make sure, can you go ahead and share out whatever contact information you would like to share? If you want to say that again real quick here so that people can find you. I know you're easy to find. Google your name.
Yes, I'm the easiest person to find. All you have to do is search for Wacinque, WACINQUE. And whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, you will get the ability to touch me, and I will follow up and contact you back Facebook, all of those social medias, you will find me with just Wacinque. I'm the only person in the world named Wacinque.
I love it. See, and I have the opposite effect. Everybody I know is named Sue. So
There's even boys named Sue.
There's so many of us. So, well, again, we do like to wrap up.
Thanks to what was his name? The man in black. Didn't he sing that? Johnny Cash.
Yep.
Yes.
Boy named Sue.
You got it.
Well, as tradition goes here with sharing a word of hope for our veterans, I wonder if you want to go ahead and if you want to share any thoughts you have that would fit into that category as a word of hope for our veterans.
Don't be afraid of seeking new information. I've shared a lot of new information about trans agents, computer. Look it up. New knowledge of growing your resourcefulness. New is the word of hope. Don't be afraid of new knowledge.
Awesome. I love that. Actually, Kurt, I'll give it to you next.
So what I want to look at is here at Project Diehard. We're working every day to keep offering more. We got Wacinque here is on here with yet another thing. It's like the stuff keeps coming in the door. And I know when we're in a dark place, and I always put the disqualifier on there for me because I don't claim to ever have gone through what you go through. I'm just here that, if you are open to the idea that folks like, Sue and I and Wacinque and Brian, obviously Brian, he's a veteran, and, whatever we can do to get you a little bit more in the veteran community than you already are, we're happy to help with that. And, that's key. Because we can keep waking up every day to bring more into Project Diehard. And, we want to hear from you. What's meaningful for you in this mission? What makes a difference for you? One is sometimes we can find more, hope, and, we can kind of life through people. If a neighbor comes knocking on the door, more helping that neighbor than the type of thing that helps you. Find another person that you can go and serve and shine with the value that you are. However you need to be. I was on a meeting earlier with another friend of ours. She was usually excited about it's like that. It's, like, oh my God, it's June already, and so much to do in June, like a little June, so those that, but there may be, all that pain and things that might, be what you're reaching for to, kind of, get put aside in your life, We're here to help. Like all with veteran reaching out for help. Whatever it is, we need your feedback. We need Mission Monday on June 15th.
Well, to all our veterans out there, just remember, you're here for a reason. God's not done with you yet. We look forward to seeing you back. We are here tonight for Project Diehard Mission Monday update, 6:30 p.m. Central. And as always, with Project Diehard,